and welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is the second video in a series I'm doing talking about Kang Seulgi of Red Velvet's solo debut 28 Reasons, and in the last video, which you can check out on my channel, it's part 1. It might even be useful for you if you, for some reason, are not interested in talking about 28 Reasons because it's all K-pop terminology that you would need to know to talk about K-pop videos. Today's video, we will be talking about who is Seulgi, why Seulgi, how Seulgi, when Seulgi, Seulgi up until her debut. There, that's a reasonable one. That's a reasonable sentence. On with the video. Pre-debut Seulgi. A small Seulgi in 2006 auditioned at SM Entertainment through the help of her dad. She did not hear back until a full year later in 2007 when she'd already given up hope of making it into SM Entertainment. She thought it was a silent rejection, but ended up being accepted. She continued to attend middle school. Some sources say that she was not permitted to discuss her trainee status at school, and others say that she was dubbed the famous one at school because she was accepted into SM Entertainment. Seulgi was known as a really good kid and a really kind kid. There's a story floating around about how there was a small girl not able to afford the snacks her friends were eating, and Seulgi noticed from afar and came up to her and accidentally bought too much cart bread, but she was just getting it for the other girl, and shared with her to make sure she was able to eat and have snacks with her friends and to be included. I just think it's so sweet. It extends past that story though. Here's some quotes. "I was not close with her, but everyone knew that Kang Seulgi was the most perfect model student. She had good grades, she was pretty, kind, ... a model student in all aspects, and she always danced and sang solo during our school festivals." Another quote, "All in all, Kang Seulgi was the best and kindest model student." So at the time, she was training, of course. She started in 2007. And her first popularity as a trainee at SM Entertainment came from Kyu-hyun of Super Junior's radio show. He was having other idols from SM Entertainment group F of X, their names were Sully and Crystal, onto his show, where they brought up her name. Super Junior is also under SM Entertainment. And a quote from Kyu-hyun from the show, "I don't really like people who are that famous. I think appearance-wise they are pretty, but it's not that I like them like that, ... I feel really burdened if the girl is really famous and a big star." To which his co-MC Kim Gura replies, "I bet he likes trainees." This prompts Sully and Crystal to mention Seulgi's name, to which Kyu-hyun says, "Oh yeah, Seulgi, she's alright, ... Seulgi's nice, sings well, and is cute." This article, by the way, is from 2013. So at the time, she had been training for 6 years. She was 19 and Kyu-hyun was 25. Have your own opinions. Nonetheless, this interaction sparked focus onto who is Seulgi, who is this new trainee, what does she do, what is she about? And this is when the nickname The Next Taeyeon came to be. It turns out that she was originally accepted into SM Entertainment for her vocal skill, and she began training to be a main vocalist. To this day, Seulgi is still a fantastic singer. She is the lead vocalist in Red Velvet, Wendy being the main vocal, and has a significant portion of vocal lines. When Wendy was injured and unable to be performing with Red Velvet, Seulgi took on a lot of her lines, and it put a lot of weight on Seulgi and really showcased this period of her life training to be a main vocal. She enjoyed training up until about grade 10 or 11, and here's a quote from her talking a little bit about the insecurity and the stumbling block she hit around that time. "I'd suddenly think, am I doing well? Even after my debut, it's the exact same. Sometimes I worry and think, am I doing well right now? Should I do more?" A quote from another time. "There was a time when I was sobbing and my emotions hit rock bottom. But when that happens, the results just become worse. I realized that it's easier to recover from it if I don't try to force out the emotions and instead try even talking in a more positive way." So this rough patch left her unable to sing in front of people for a long time. She felt a lot of insecurity surrounding her vocal skill. This led her to the dance practice room, where she was able to be more herself, be more free, and think about choreography and dancing. Seulgi did end up debuting as Red Velvet's main dancer. You might be wondering what got her through this insecurity, what enabled her to start talking more positively to herself. She credits this to learning of her debut and her future members. Wendy expressed her gratitude to Seulgi for supporting and guiding her while they were still trainees, even when their debut was uncertain. Wendy and Seulgi, as we know, debut together, and they work as a team as main and lead vocal, preparing to debut. Seulgi joins the SM Rookies. A quote about what is SM Rookies. They're a team of pre-debut trainees that do projects together or feature an existing artist's music videos and songs. The SM Rookies program has been showcasing pre-debut idols from 2013 to 2018. There was a small hiatus, and now they're back at it, restarting last year in 2022 and still ongoing. Trainees from the SM Rookies program have popped up in groups such as Red Velvet, aespa, and all of the NCT subunits. It is notable that not all of the trainees at SM go through the SM Rookies program. For example, all of Red Velvet except Joy was in SM Rookies. Yeri was even there, and Yeri did not debut with Red Velvet until a year later with Ice Cream Cake. And for their newest girl group, aespa, only one member of aespa was in the SM Rookies program, and that was Ning Ning, now their main vocalist. The SM Rookies program seems to be a way to publicize and promote their upcoming groups and idols they are preparing to debut, as well as giving these idols moments in the spotlight as kind of practice, preparation to kind of dip their toes into what the public is going to expect from them. The trainees in this program are almost certain to debut. There are very few exceptions. 8 exceptions to be exact. 6 girls and 2 guys. As for Seulgi and the SM Rookies, she ended up joining Henry of TVXQ's projects. She guest starred in his song Butterfly and was in the fantastic music video. Debut. Seulgi debuts August 4th, 2014 in the 4-member group Red Velvet as their main dancer and lead vocalist. Side note, Red Velvet becomes 5 in 2015 when Yeri joins with Ice Cream Cake, as I sort of hinted at earlier. Red Velvet is an extremely decorated K-pop group. Me with my list again. 81 Korean Music Show Awards. Korean music shows are weekly shows that showcase debut songs of the week, the premieres of the week, and audiences can vote and use streaming services to get points up for their favorite artists and favorite songs. These shows in various ways collect votes and stats to determine who is the winner of that week. 81 is a pretty big number. It's a pretty big number. They've won awards from shows such as the Mnet Asian Music Awards and the Asian Artist Awards, etc. These include Artist of the Year, Song of the Year, Best Dance, Best Music Video. The list goes on. Red Velvet is able to achieve these heights due to a dedication to their art and their concept. This art and concept is ingrained in the name of the group itself. Red concepts are bright and bold and fun, akin to the intensity of a summer sun, and feature abstract art, crazy colors, and brighter, more uplifting concepts. Velvet concepts are darker, more mature, feature some sort of sophistication or edginess that is missing in a red concept. The color palette and the symbolism in a velvet concept tends to be more elegant. It tends to be darker than in a red concept. You'll find realism featured in these concepts. In the name alone, you can see color, red, is very important to them. And how they changed from concept to concept between these eras, as they can switch on a dime to the velvet concept, color is important there too. In both a red and a velvet concept, the otherworldly, the parallel universe, the 2-in-1 existence is important to them. Just as Red Velvet can exist as red or velvet, they can exist in whatever timeline they want to exist in. There are plenty of examples of otherworldly fantasy and parallel universe throughout their wide discography and collection of music videos. I want to tell you, go watch this. It's very clear, but they're all pretty clear. Go watch. You know what? Go watch Rookie. They literally walk through a closet and like enter a second world. Go watch Rookie. You'll be like, oh, there is. It's very obvious. Or go watch Peekaboo. It's like a murder thriller with moving paintings and I'm getting ahead of myself. Let me keep talking. So as you know, Seulgi and Red Velvet debut under SM Entertainment. SM Entertainment is considered one of the big three of K-pop. They have plenty of budget. They are seeing a total revenue in 2021 of 701.56 South Korean won, or just shy of 550 million US dollars. For our purposes, that is important because we know things are purposeful. They're getting people that know what they're talking about, who know how to execute what they're talking about, and budget is not a limitation for Red Velvet. SM Entertainment is also responsible for a lot of what we know as standards in K-pop today, such as casting calls for new trainees, having a pool of trainees to pick from, the photo card craze, and so on. SM seeks to intertwine their groups with lore, which is another whole nother concept I could talk about, the Kwangya-verse. For our purposes, just know SM Entertainment goes to lengths to ensure their groups are intertwined on a lore level. Company-wide lore, continuous lore, concept train of thought is very important to groups under SM Entertainment. Maintaining a reputation of experimentation and dedication to concept is in the genetic makeup. And thus brings us to the debut of Red Velvet and their first era and scene.
Hello everybody, it is desk/future Katie here. I did not film an outro when I recorded this video a long time ago. So here I am at my desk. Very obviously in the future. Telling you, I hope you enjoyed this intro to Seulgi's life, and in the next video we will be talking about how she's portrayed in Red Velvet. So pop back in for part 3 of Kang Seulgi's debut thingy McBobber. Don't look at my hair, by the way. I bleached it. Everything will be fine eventually. Everything is fine.